East Stastny Lane.
We do have team coverage of this incident. Before we get to Nicole Cross, who's live at the hospital for us this morning, where the officers are now recovering, let's get to Jay Wallace at the scene. Jay, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Well, this whole situation, it started right before 11 o'clock with a 911 call, and it started out with a call that police didn't know exactly what it was for. It was an unknown urgent call that then became disconnected from the caller's end. So police came out here to the scene. We're not actually at the crime scene right now. We're down the street, but if you look to my left, this is right across the street from Houston Elementary School, which is delayed until 10 a.m. because of the investigation. You see right now the flashing blue and red lights. This is where someone shot at officers late last night. Three officers responded to this call here at the 5500 block of Poinciana Drive, talking to a resident at that house who said they didn't call 911. So officers moved to another side of the duplex and knocked on the door multiple times, but there was no answer. So with no reason to be there, officers started to leave, and that is when someone started shooting at the officers from inside the house, hitting one officer in the arm. So these officers, they ran away, and then this is when it became a SWAT situation, as the subject had barricaded himself inside the home. And then it was at this point officers used a specific device to find a safe way inside the home.
We then utilized the Austin Police Department's robot to do a kinetic breach of the front door, not knowing if we had a second person inside the home. We knew we had the suspect inside the home, and we had information that there may be another person inside the home.
And that information ended up being correct, because the suspect did eventually come outside with a female. So once outside, the suspect was shot and the female was taken to safety, and that suspect later died from his gunshot wounds. And this is still an ongoing investigation, even though the suspect is dead. This did happen overnight in the dark, and police want to make sure this area is safe, and they do tie up all the loose ends with this investigation. I mentioned that officer who was shot. There was actually another officer who was injured in this whole situation, and that's why my colleague Nicole Cross, she is out at St. David's Medical Center to give us an update on how those officers are doing. Nicole, what do we know right now?
Jay, we know that those two officers are in stable condition. They are recovering this morning here at St. David's Hospital in South Austin, this after they were injured in that officer-involved shooting last night. Now, according to Interim Police Chief Brian Manley, the first officer, a 5-year veteran of the force, was shot in the right arm during the gunfire, and the second, who's been with the police department for 16 years, injured their hand and knee while trying to escape the barrage of bullets.
Neither officer is considered to have life-threatening injuries, and again, both are being treated at the hospital.
And the good news is that both are in stable condition and are expected to be okay. Live in South Austin, Nicole Cross, KVUE News.
Nicole, Jay, thank you both. Now, because of all the police activity in this area where the shooting occurred, classes at Josephine Houston Elementary School will be delayed. Now, start of school at Houston Elementary will now be 10 a.m. this morning. So if that's your elementary school, remember, you will be delayed today, starting at 10 a.m. because of all that police activity.